Hi, I'm Hax, and I'm going to be teaching you about the fortress. Okay, first of all, there's two parts to the fortress. There's the good side, which is characterized by this open area and the spawners, and then there's the bad side, which is more enclosed and only has chests. And because the bad side doesn't have any spawners and only has chests, speedrunners will almost always try to get to the good side. And most of the time, if it's more open like this, you can just see the good side and speedrunners will pearl and then start playing the spawner. But sometimes it's fully enclosed and you will have to just figure out how to get to the good side with no information. And there's a few indicators in the bad side that help. First of all, there's this nether wart room with the staircase. Whenever you see this, speedrunners will always go the opposite direction and that'll lead you towards the good side. There's two other indicators. Here, there's this balcony similar to the staircase room. You always go opposite the balcony, and then when you see these stairs, you always go up the stairs. Here's another balcony, so you go opposite, and then ideally, if you follow the bad side well enough, you'll end up in this middle lava room. And this is always like the transition between good and bad side. There will always be the good side on one side, and then the bad side on the other side. Okay, next thing is spawners. What you'll see speedrunners always do is they will always clear out the spawner to make sure there's more space for blazes to spawn. And this can be done with either a pickaxe or with beds or with TNT. If speedrunners use a bed to clear out the space called a blaze bed, there will be a lot of fire and you'll always see people clear out the fire. This is because fire will eat the spawns and blazes can't spawn in the fire because these emit light level. So speedrunners will always clear out the fire. However, soul fire is fine. For whatever reason, soul fire just doesn't emit enough light, so blazes can still spawn and people don't care as much about soul fire. That's also why people try to use soul sand for these edges so that blazes, first of all, don't fall off, but also they're slightly slowed down so it's easier to kill them. And also, if they shoot fireballs, there's soul fire, so you won't have to clear it out as much. Okay, next thing is blaze beds and TNT. There's two main types of spawners people will run into, either buried or exposed. For buried, there's a few main variations people do. If you only have one bed, you'll see people place a block on top of the spawner, break this block here, and then do a blaze bed, and that's like the best way to do it. Just to like clear out as much space as possible. If they have TNT, such as in a temple seed, you're most likely going to see people do something like this with the TNT in order to clear it out, or they'll do a donut and put TNT all around it to clear it on buried. For open is generally slightly faster than exposed just due to the fact that there's less blocks on the side, and you can do this for your blaze bed setup. Or you'll see, if you only have TNT, you'll see people do like this as well. Or if you only have two TNT, some people will do this. And then sometimes there's some weird setups where you can use a mix of a combo of a TNT and a bed. So there's a lot of different blaze bed variations, but all of them have the same goal of just trying to clear out as much space as possible to free up spawns for blazes. In terms of other strategies in the fortress, something you'll see is people turning down their render distance to 5 chunks, or maybe even lower, sometimes to 6, sometimes to 4. This is to try and increase spawn rates of mobs and fortresses. The intended goal is to get as many blazes as possible in order to leave as fast as possible. Obviously, there is the negative potential of getting a bunch of wither skeletons, but ideally in biomes like Basalt, in Warped, or Soul Sand Valley, you're going to get more blaze spawns than other mobs. Like, it's less taken up by zombie pigs or piglins, so you will sometimes see people lower their render distance to 5 to only place stray blazes. Another micro strategy you might see speedrunners do is they'll use an axe and a sword. Most people just use an axe and it's pretty fast, but especially for stray blazes where you are on a timer like at a spawner, you have to kill these blazes as fast as possible. So you'll see some runners use an axe and then switch to a sword, and that'll save a lot of time killing each blaze. And it can, when you're killing like multiple blazes, like if you get average rates, you'll have to kill like around 12 blazes for 6 rods. Getting like a 1 second time save on each blaze kill with an iron sword adds up a lot. Wither skeletons are a big nuisance in fortresses. You'll see speedrunners deal with them in different ways. A lot of people like to do this, where they stack up 3 blocks on the good side, and then just punch them off. Other potential methods that people use is if they have fire charges or flint and steel, you can just punch them off. When you're in the bad side, you can't as easily just pillar up a few blocks. You have to kind of make your own thing. You make like this little L shape on the side, and the wither skeletons will try to get up here. They just naturally pathfind up, and you can also just punch them off. And those are like the ideal methods to deal with wither skeletons.